السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Brothers and sisters, Alhamdulillah, all praise due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have been discussing about the topic Al-Hidaayah, divine guidance. Now, divine guidance in Islam is not just about the 5 pillars of Islam. After understanding the 5 pillars of Islam and do it in a proper manner, the way Allah wants us to do is to follow His beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu command and also His Sunnah. Then we move to another guidance. The guidance of how should we conduct ourselves in the society, among the community. Now, in Islam, it's a religion that teaches us, guides us, because it's a Hidaayah. It's here to guide us how to have a good relationship among mankind. Your neighbors, friends, your family, and also the community in your area, whether it's locally or it's internationally or globally. Because Islam is for all. Now we have come to the Hidaayah on the divine guidance on how should we conduct ourselves when dealing with human being. We know that Allah created human being in a very complex situation. The most complicated people or creation is human being, because human beings sometimes like to play God. You come across their time, human dare even to say that they are God. They are the living God. Na'uz billah. They are the best creation, of course, but in the same time, human can become like animal and worse than animal. Who said that? Allah said it. Now when dealing with human, let us look into what Allah said about human being first. Number one, Allah reminds us about human being that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have created them in the best form. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ. We have created and shaped the human in the best form. But in the same time, Allah said, we can be downgraded to a level to the lowest among the low. This is the worst thing that is going to happen to human. And even the other ayah, Allah said, وَلَقَدْ زَرَعْنَا لِجَهَنَّمْ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا أُولَئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ. Allah said, I have prepared hellfire, and the inhabitants of hellfire, they are the jinn and the ins, the human. I give humans the heart, but they don't use the heart to think, to reflect. We are human. We must be different compared with other creation. Humans should know how to differentiate what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad. If not, then why we are better than other creation of Allah? Why we claim that we are better than the animals, we are better than the plant, we are better than the jinn? It's because we who are given by Allah the heart to think. And Allah gives us eyes for us to see the creation, reflect and understand. Allah never create anything without a reason. Everything that Allah created, there is a purpose. Only the people of understanding, people who have the right knowledge, will know how to benefit from all the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah said, وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ. I give them ears, but they don't make use of the ear to listen. Of course, we use our ear to listen to what? Music. Yes, our music, every single day we hear. Laghwa. But if you use your hearing to listen to good advice, the word of Allah, is sure to benefit you. Music won't benefit anyone else. Music makes us high, makes us forget Allah, makes us forget ourselves. This is what Allah said, I give you the hearing, but you don't use the hearing to listen to the command of Allah. The eyes, you don't open the Quran and look at the ayah of Allah. Why you don't make use of this faculty that Allah have given you, brothers and sisters? What did Allah say? Ulaika kal an'am. They are like animals. Bal hum adall. Not just like animal. They are worse than the animal. Na'udzu billahi min zalik. We hope we are not in that kind of category. And you look in the Quran again, after Surah Al-Fatiha, when Surah Al-Baqarah, it begins with Alif, Lam, Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. That book, or the Quran, is a book, there's no doubt inside it. Anybody who have the knowledge of the Quran, they will know that this book, there's no doubt in it. From the beginning to the end, every single thing that Allah mentioned in this book is truth, fact. It's not fantasy, but it's real. And this book, Allah said, Hudal lil Muttaqin, is a Hidaayah, a divine guidance for people who believe, who have taqwa. And later on, Allah continue with the group of people. The first group is Muttaqin, the believer. Second group, Allah talk about the disbeliever. Inna lazina kafaru sawa'un alayhim a'anzartahum am lam tunzirhum la yu'minun. Allah is talking about the disbeliever now. And later after that, Allah is talking about the third group of people, the munafiqin. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَا يَقُولُ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنُونَ. Allah is talking about another group. The third group is the group who are munafiq. Now in human social life, you are encountering three kinds of people. You are going to meet three kinds of people. A believer, the disbeliever, and the hypocrite. When it comes to the hypocrite, the munafiq, Allah stressed more than 7, 10 ayat to talk about munafiq. Just the beginning of Al-Baqarah. Why? Because this is reality. That's why Quran is a guidance. When you deal with human, you must understand the characteristic of the people. You have one group is a believer, it's easy for you to handle them. They are very straightforward, they are very sincere, inshallah. And then your enemy, who always go against you, is easy to know. This is my enemy. A clear-cut thing, easy. But the worst part is the munafiq, the hypocrite, who pretend to be like you, but he is not like you. Who pretend to say that he's with you, but he's against you. Who smile in front of you, and they will curse you behind your back. Now, these are the worst people. And the Prophet called this type of people Dhul Wajhain, the people of two faces. We don't want to be that. That's why Quran is a divine guidance, it's a Hidaayah. When you understand the characteristic of the people, and Allah have shown signs, alama. Now we cannot say that we do not know, that we cannot trust this guy, we should be aware about this guy. No, you cannot say you do not know if you read the Quran. Now, I think I have the right to say that you are munafiq if you have all the signs. It's not I say. It's what Allah and the Prophet said. The Prophet did say, Alamatul munafiq, thalasa, and the other hadith said, 4. When you have this sign, then there is a symptom of nifaq. Maybe it's not a full nifaq yet. If there are 4 signs, if you have 1 sign, that means 25% there is a nifaq in you. Just for us to be alert, brothers and sisters. Islam is a divine guidance. Remember, Islam is a divine guidance. So when something is divine, we must have faith in it. We must believe that Allah knows the in and out of a person. If Allah have mentioned to us about the sifat, the characteristic of believer, the characteristic of the disbeliever, the characteristic of the munafiq, of course you don't have to go out to talk to the people, oh you are kafir, or you are muttaqin, or you are munafiq. Don't have to say that. This is for your own knowledge, so that you will be guided. You cannot be easily misled by the people through their words, through their smile. No, it's a guidance. But if you do not want to take this as a guidance, you think you know better than God, then you start to have more problems. You trust the wrong person, and your friend become your enemy become your friend. This is what's happening today. The enemy of Allah become our friend, and the one that Allah loves so much, the awliya illah, become our enemy. We don't trust people that Allah loves. We trust people who Allah hates. And that's why we suffered a lot today. Because we never learned. We thought that we know better than Allah. That is the biggest mistake in our life. You can have a lot of knowledge, but no one can even feel that he knows better than Allah. So the sign of Allah is clear. Now, when you understand this sign, brother and sister, then it's easy for you to communicate with the people. Because when you talk about mu'amalat, you are talking about your social responsibility. You must have certain guidelines. Who can you trust, who you can't trust, who can you work with, who you're not supposed to be with. You must know. To minimize our problem in life. In business, example, in the community, mu'amalat, we need to do business. So you must know what kind of business you want to get involved. Halal business or haram business. You must be clear. That's why Islam is a huda, is a hidayah, is a guideline. We will come back after the short break.
Where truth is hidden, misleading quotations create confusion. Where truth is hidden, lack of knowledge and wisdom cause upheaval and commotion. Where truth is hidden, manipulated scriptures and twisted facts emerge. This very hidden truth creates false propaganda, mayhem, chaos, disorder, and turmoil in our lives and the world order. But is there anyone with courage and wisdom? What is the truth, and who has the courage to expose it? Because it's your right to know the truth.
Watch Truth Prevail and Lies Perish in Truth Exposed by Dr. Zakir Naik. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. and repeat telecast at 7:30 a.m. Saudi Arabia on Peace TV.
I wanted to share with you some of the ayat of the Quran and some of the ahadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Care and affection, guidance and encouragement, dedication and vision,
which give us an indication and an instruction.
Uplifting the horizons of the child in an Islamically sound way.
As to how to be good Muslim parents.
Muhammad Tim Humble.
Welcome to a brand new series, 26 ways to be a good Muslim parent.
Imbibe the various qualities of ideal parents essential for their children's upbringing and betterment from 26 ways to be a good Muslim parent. Next on Peace TV.
Welcome back, brother and sister. Now, what we said, Islam is a divine guidance. So when something is divine, we must have faith in it. We must believe that Allah knows the in and out of a person. If Allah have mentioned to us about the sifat, the characteristic of believer, the characteristic of the disbeliever, the characteristic of the munafiq, of course, you don't have to go out to talk to the people, oh, you are kafir, or you are muttaqin, or you are munafiq. Don't have to say that. This is for your own knowledge, so that you will be guided. You cannot be easily misled by the people through their words, through their smile. No, It's a guidance. But if you do not want to take this as a guidance, you think you know better than God, then you start to have more problems. You trust the wrong person, and your friend become your enemy become your friend. This is what's happening today. The enemy of Allah become our friend, and the one that Allah loves so much, the awliya illah, become our enemy. We don't trust people that Allah loves. We trust people who Allah hates. And that's why we suffered a lot today. Because we never learned. We thought that we know better than Allah. That is the biggest mistake in our life. You can have a lot of knowledge, but no one can even feel that he knows better than Allah. So the sign of Allah is clear. Now, when you understand this sign, brother and sister, then it's easy for you to communicate with the people. Because when you talk about mu'amalat, you're talking about your social responsibility. You must have certain guidelines. Who can you trust, who you can't trust, who can you work with, who you're not supposed to be with. You must know. To minimize our problem in life. In business, example, in the community, mu'amalat, we need to do business. So you must know what kind of business you want to get involved. Halal business or haram business. You must be clear. That's why Islam is a huda, is a hidayah, is a guideline. A lot of Muslims are confused from this point of view. They thought that I'm not selling pork, I'm not selling liquor. Book. What kind of book are you selling, brothers? Are you promoting books that against Allah, against Tawheed? Are you selling magazine, pornographic magazine? Is that halal? This is something not only haram. Food and drink is haram. Even books that can confuse and corrupt the mind of the reader, misleading people, is something that we are not supposed to promote, to sell. It's haram. Sometimes people have books written about what? About the future, about nasib. You know, it's nasib. Talking about the stars, the sign of those who are born this month, that month. And all these are haram, shirk. And we are selling this book, na'uzubillah. The same goes to all the khurafat, bid'ah. There's against the Quran and Sunnah, we cannot even sell it. But a lot of people don't know. Book is a book. I don't know what is in the content. You must know what you're going to do. It's your business. It's your investment. You cannot say, I don't know. A lot of Muslims are confused. They don't sell pork, but they sell liquor. You know, you see. But if you compare between liquor and pork, if you are given a choice to choose, if necessity comes and then you're given a choice, you're forced to choose between eating of pork and drinking of wine, then the Islamic Sharia says, Akhafu dararain, choose the lesser sin. The lesser sin is the eating of pork, not drinking of wine. Because wine is the root of all evil. Raqsul qataya kullah. But we are so confused. A lot of Muslims get involved in business, but they don't care halal and haram anymore. That is not the way of a Muslim. We have a guideline in doing business. And in the same time, we have a responsibility towards education, because the community needs education. So we must make sure that the education that we want to reinforce, a balanced education, body, mind, and soul. It's very important, because we want our people to be guided. We want the people to be a better person. If you want to have better citizens, then you must make sure that whatever that been taught to them is something positive, not negative. Make sure that the education is correct, not something against Allah. Anything against Allah is not our duty to participate. Of course, you can learn about science, you can learn mathematics. Everything is Islamic, as long as it's not against Allah. The system may come from the East or the West. They may have their own way of teaching maths and so on, no problem. It's just the manner. People have their own research and they find that this manner is better, easy to understand. that we can accept, no problem at all. But one is against Allah and the Prophet, we cannot accept it as part of our curriculum, because we do not want to corrupt and confuse our children. The same go to transportation. This is the need of the community, muamalat. We need to provide transportation to move around. It's our duty to make sure that the transportation that we provide is something that is safe for the male and for the female too. All this is something to do with muamalah, and there's guideline. All of these have guideline. And of course, if a person is not trained to drive, he don't have a proper license to drive, you cannot just let them drive. They may kill themselves or kill other people, may cause harm to other people. It's dangerous. Now, all these are guidance, Hidaayah. Even food, and the community, the people need to live. They need to have good food. Make sure the food that we provide, all the production is something that is good, not just all the junk food that is going to cause a lot of harm to the nation and is going to cost us a lot, to make sure that we help them when they need help. A lot of expenses been wasted in medical treatment for the sick, for the weak ones, because we are not careful about the food and the drink. About health is something that everybody needs, some kind of medical attention. So the Muslim must think of that. If you want to come up with some medication to help those who are sick, what did the Prophet say? The Prophet ﷺ said, "Inna Allah nazzala da wa dawa fatadawu wa la tadawu bil haram." Allah is the one who sent down the disease. In the same time, Allah prepared medication, cure for it. Every disease, there is a cure except death and old age. And then the Prophet said, even when you want to help a person who is weak, who is medically sick, make sure that we don't use haram sources. وَلَا تَدَاوُ بِالْحَرَامِ. MashaAllah, every single thing in our daily life, there is a guideline for us to follow, a do and a don't. This makes Islam so beautiful, so comprehensive, about education, about health, even development. You want to build houses, you must make sure that everyone have a place to stay on. There's enough space, enough land for the people in this world. It's only because we allow people to monopolize, the rich to exploit the situation, and now you suffer. It's not balanced. Community, you must make sure the rich have their right to build a better house if they have the means, but even the poor have the right for a shelter. And you must provide. If you can't, that means you have failed to be a leader. Leadership in Islam is very important. And leadership in Islam is not just about me, the boss is always right. It's for all. You cannot be a leader if there's no people for you to lead. You cannot be a leader if you're not chosen to be a leader. And after becoming a leader, you forget about the people who have appointed you. You have no time for them anymore. That shows that you have failed to be a good leader. Make sure that everyone who lives, who is under you in your country, have the minimum shelter. And when you come up with this development, you must make sure that the development should be a balanced development. And the house that you want to make sure that the minimum must have 3 bedrooms. We are human, we are not pigeon, we are not birds. Don't make like a pigeon house, but make a proper home. One is for the father and the mother, or husband and wife, a room. Another room for girls, daughters, and a room for boys, son. There's the minimum development when we talk about housing development. So brothers and sisters, mashallah, if you really understand what Allah and the Prophet want us to do, we'll never go wrong. And then you'll find that, mashallah, Islam is so perfect and so beautiful. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us people who submit to Allah physically, mentally, and spiritually. Amin ya Rabbil Alamin. Wabillahi tawfiqi wal aqri da'wana walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.